We are thrilled to have Senator Elizabeth Warren here with us today to talk about education and childcare during the pandemic. Welcome, Senator Warren.
Thank you. It is good to be with you.
So we have a limited amount of time and people have a lot of questions about what is happening right now. So we'll just get straight into things.
Sounds good.
The Senate has a, new, what they're calling the skinny coronavirus relief bill. And it's about $500 million worth of relief is my understanding. What is in that bill? And is there anything at all related to schools and childcare? We're 7 to 8 months into this. A lot of people's children are still at home. We get, reader feedback every day about when more help is coming.
Yeah. So the bottom line is, I know that Mitch McConnell likes to call it the skinny bill. The real answer is it's just not enough help. It's not enough relief for the families who need it. So there's a very small amount in there for childcare, enough that they can say, check, we did childcare. Most experts say it might be enough to last for a few weeks, but not to sustain our childcare system or get places up and operational again. There's nothing for state and local government, which, as you know, this is how teachers get paid. This is how school bus drivers get paid and cafeteria workers, the people who help support our school system and keep it up and going. It doesn't have enough money to cover the additional expenses that schools are going to encounter. Besides which, we've just learned, millions more people now in poverty, millions of people who are worried that they can't make the rent payment, can't make the mortgage payments, millions of people falling behind. And there's just not enough help for any of them. And so this is really a case of, do you leave folks behind, knowing that we're not going to be able to get this up and running again as long as the Republicans keep saying no, no, no. So it's a real problem. There's one other thing about it, though, Amanda, that really worries me. And that is, this was never a serious offer. It's got poison pills in it. So it's got things in it like shoveling money that should go into public schools into private schools. Really? Our public schools, we need to get them up and operational. That's our first obligation. And it's got a liability release in it. So a meatpacking plant, for example, can bring in workers, can know that they're sick, can mash them in next to each other, and then other people get sick and people die. And what this bill says is there's no liability, no matter how irresponsible the employer was. We just can't go along with that. So, Mitch McConnell, I think, wanted something for politics to be able to vote on, but no, it's not help for our families. It's not help for the mamas and the daddies who need to get kids back to school. It's not help for our kids. It's not help for our teachers. And that's why it really was a non-starter. And Mitch McConnell knew it from the beginning.
It's taken us, and it sounds like this still won't be enough. It's taken us months to get to this next round of relief. And it sounds like there's not going to be enough overall. There certainly doesn't seem to be enough for schools or childcare to get them through this at a time when, depending on where you're living, your kids could still be at home full time right now. I mean, some kids are doing full-time remote learning. What has the holdup been, and why haven't we seen this happen sooner?
I hate to make this sound so political, but it's so political. The Democrats put a proposal on the table more than 4 months ago that would have been money for state and local governments, money for our teachers, that would have had robust funding for our child care centers so we could get them up and operational. And the Republicans they just didn't want to hear about it. No vote, no nothing over in the Senate. Already passed the House. In fact, that bill is still sitting there. Mitch McConnell could come in tomorrow, pick that bill up and say, okay, let's all vote on this. But he won't do that. And I see this, Amanda, it's a question of, where are your priorities? Are your priorities with kids, with families that are trying to work from home, God bless them, or trying to go out to work and they need somebody. They need help with their kids. They need their kids back in school. They need their kids in childcare. Or are your priorities to keep the airlines up and running. And look, I understand why we help the airlines. That's a lot of jobs, and I'm not opposed to that. But boy, Republicans signed right up and said, we'll get in there. When money's going to big businesses, we'll get in there to help giant corporations. We'll get in there to do a release of liability for employers. But for families, they're just not there to help. And to me, that's what the election on November 3rd is all about. Who do you think government ought to work for?
In the early weeks of this pandemic, I spoke to a lot of parents and also childcare providers, including from your state, Massachusetts. And they were already struggling. This was in that first couple of weeks when things were starting to shut down. They were telling me how childcare centers operate on the margins already, that even just a few weeks could be completely devastating. And I had experts telling me as many as half of private childcare centers could close during all of this. And that, of course, the effects, like almost everything, would be disproportionately felt depending on your geographic area and demographics. We're headed into 7 or 8 months of this now. What are you hearing from your constituents and people across this country? Have those predictions been as dire as anticipated? Are childcare providers managing to hang on? Are some of these that are still closed ever going to reopen again?
So, boy, I've talked to the same folks you've talked to. I've talked to folks here in Massachusetts, the childcare providers, the parents, the teachers, the folks who are trying to make this system work, and they just can't. The economics just aren't there to hold this together. And childcare providers, let's remember what it was like before the pandemic hit. We were already in the middle of a childcare crisis in America. Think about it. We had the problem of they run on razor thin margins. So they've got to get these children signed up. The parents can only afford to pay so much. As a consequence, childcare workers are among the lowest paid in our country. There's big turnover in childcare workers. One of the main places they go to work is at McDonald's because they can make more money running the cash register at McDonald's than they can taking care of our children. So childcare providers have always been at this very thin edge on can you make it financially or not? And then when the pandemic hit, when places had to close, when expenses went up, when states came in and said, you've got to change how many babies can be in a room, how many teachers for each group of children. So their expenses are through the roof, and lots of parents who couldn't bring their children. So revenues go down. It was already bad, and then it went to worse. And what the child care operators were predicting, what I've seen here in Massachusetts, it's been worse than that. Places that have not been able to open for months and months, or places that have managed to stay open, but the operation is losing money month after month. They've sold off what they can. So I think of this as we now see the problem. It's raised up in front of us. That means now is the time, not just to provide pandemic relief, although we should do that. Now is the time to think about restructuring overall and getting the kind of support into childcare that our babies need, that our mamas and daddies need, and that our childcare workers need.
That is a great segue to what I wanted to talk to you about next. Last month, we learned that nearly 900,000 women left the workforce. And a huge factor in that was having children at home, both school-age children who would normally be in school or go to aftercare after that's no longer available, and also, young kids who are in preschool and younger. You talked a lot during your own presidential campaign, which I was able to cover. So I have followed Senator Warren around for many months before this. You talked a lot about a universal child care plan. And I was wondering if you could talk about that a little bit more, and also kind of the gender parity and equity aspect in terms of keeping women in the workforce, And, coming at it from the perspective that we did this as a country in the 1940s. So
We
if we've done it once, could we do it again?
So think of it this way. What do you want to do? What's one of the roles of government? And it is to make us a more prosperous country, right? So how do we do that? Well, one way we do that is we make lots of investments in roads and bridges. Why? So people can get to work, so businesses can move their goods and services. And that's great. That's known as infrastructure. We all make the investment because ultimately it benefits all of us. More people are able to work, they're able to produce more, they pay more in taxes, we make more investments in each other. Great. Childcare should be treated like infrastructure because it is. If we want parents of young children, if we particularly want mamas to be able to finish their educations, to be able to go to work, then all of us, whether we have kids or not, have an interest in investing in childcare for them so that they can do those things, so they can produce in this economy. I mean, it's basically a self-interest. You invest in highways because it makes us a more prosperous country. Invest in childcare. So that's one reason to do it. Let me give you a second one, though. And that is, we need to be blunt about the black-white wealth gap in America. Childcare workers are disproportionately female, right off the top, the group that's paid less than men, but disproportionately Black and brown workers working for the lowest wages in this country. So what we should do is not only invest in childcare, but make enough of an investment that we can raise the wages of childcare workers, that we can have people who have better training, people who make this a real profession and stay in this job for an extended period of time. And again, we do that. We lift a lot of families, particularly women-headed families, families headed by African-American women, by Latinas. We lift them up and they become middle-class families. They have the kind of earnings to support that. So again, these pieces all fit together. Good for the mamas and daddies, good for the babies, and good for the childcare workers. We make investments together, and childcare should be one of those critical investments that we make.
One of the stories that you used to tell on the campaign trail that really stuck with me was your own experience with childcare. Now, you, of course, were also a teacher earlier in your career, but you talked about, raising your two children. Your son was often on the campaign trail with you, doing your tech support, as you often told us. What could you take us back to those days when you were kind of earlier on in your career? You had two little kids. Back then, it was even harder for women to be in the workforce. How did childcare and your ability to get it impact where you were able to go in your own career?
So I still remember I had my first full-time tenure track teaching job down at the University of Houston. I was so excited. And it was tough. It's just like you said, not many women were doing it. I was the second woman hired at the University of Houston. And it meant, late dinners and baths at 8 o'clock and laundry at 10 o'clock and doing my own class preparations at 11 o'clock. All that was hard. I could do hard. The thing that nearly sank me was childcare. We cycled through, I had two little ones, one after another after another. Childcare center closed. Babysitter just quit showing up. Neighbor, we're going to pitch in together. Neighbor decides she doesn't like that idea. Now we're back to another childcare center, but that one has a long waiting list. You know what this is like? I mean, it was just horrible. So I'm into the spring of my first year, and my Aunt Bee called one night from Oklahoma City. She's 78 years old. And she said, "How you doing, honey?" And I said, "Fine." And then I just burst into tears. And I said, "I can't do this anymore. I'm going to quit my job." I didn't even know I was going to say it, but I just realized I was failing. I was failing at everything. I was failing my children. I just couldn't hold it together. Now, my Aunt B waited for me to quit crying. And then she said the words that changed my life. She said, well, I can't get there tomorrow, but I'll come on Thursday. And she arrived with 7 suitcases and a Pekingese named Buddy and stayed for 16 years. And that's the only way I'm here today is because of my Aunt B. And here's the thing that gets me. I came within a breath of just losing everything I'd worked for, my education. Those tenure track jobs for women just didn't come along that often. I came that close to losing it. And if it hadn't been for my Aunt B, I would have. But today, women have so many more opportunities in the workplace. They do. But the childcare part of it, I think it's harder than ever. I think it's harder than ever for women to find the childcare arrangements that let them either finish their education or take on a more demanding job, go from part-time to full-time, whatever it is they want to do. And that's the part that really makes me lean back, Amanda. I think of how many women in my generation were just knocked off the rails. And sure, maybe you get back on later, but then again, maybe you don't. How many of my daughter's generation were knocked off the rails and now, not quite old enough, but how many of my granddaughter's generation get knocked off the rails because of this? This pandemic is being felt disproportionately by the parents of small children and particularly by mothers, by women. And we just need to acknowledge that straight up and say, we demand change. Enough of this. You want to build a future for this nation, then invest in childcare for our babies.
What would change look like? Because I'm sure what you just described is resonating with so many people watching right now. I mean, I do not have children. Most of my friends do at this point. They are at their wits' end, more than 6 months into this, trying to juggle demanding jobs, keeping their house going, making sure their kids, get dressed, much less Zoom in for their preschool. I have a friend whose child is in his first year of preschool and he's supposed to be doing it on Zoom. What would change look like? You have a policy for everything. So what would universal pre-K look like? What would universal childcare look like? Would it be something we buy into? Would it be completely financed? And of course, that question that everyone wants to know, how would we pay for it to get it done?
So let's start with non-pandemic, all right? Because like I said, the need is there. Even without the coronavirus, the need is there. Millions of people live in what are called childcare deserts, 0 or 1 childcare centers. People who live even where there are multiple childcare centers see that the lists are long for being able to get a child in, particularly with babies or very small toddlers. So what do we start with? We start with, let's make the arrangement between the federal government, which has the ability to do the taxing and gather the resources, straight down to the community level. So you want to open a childcare center? Great. As long as you'll meet the local requirements on safety and little potties and, enough childcare workers, and do they have the right kind of credentials, then the federal government will put money into it. You could be a private individual, you could be a church, you could be a community center, you could be a public school that's got 2 rooms that don't get used as much and you'd like to do that. You could be an employer who'd like to take some extra space at your place and have an on-site childcare center. And then let's start with the presumption it's free, but as incomes go up, well over $100,000, you pay up to 7% of your income. And that's it. Nobody ever pays any more than that. So it's affordable for everyone to be able to do that. We make that investment. And the way I'd like to see it operate is basically you sign your kid up the way you sign your kid up for public school. That is, Our obligation is to make sure there's space for your kid, not your obligation to haul around all over the county looking for a place that might be able to take someone who's 18 months old. So that's the basic structure. We build that structure and we make that commitment. Make it to our mamas, make it to our babies, make it to the child care providers and the people who want to come in and be child care providers. We make that commitment. Now, in a pandemic, you need a boost on top of that. You need a boost because the ordinary patterns aren't going to work. We need a boost so that we can keep the babies more separated, a boost so that we can have more workers, a boost so that our essential workers are getting extra pay for taking on the hazards of being out and handling little babies that are kind of germy sometimes, right? Dealing with that. And you ask about how to pay for it. Let me just start by saying we are in a pandemic. This is a healthcare emergency and it is an economic emergency. As a government, what we need to do, this is just Econ 101. We need to be getting that money down into the hands of people so that they can work and keep working. That's how you support demand. That's how you keep the economy running. So right now, quite rightly, no one is saying we have to find pay-fors in order to be able to put the money in a pandemic. For me, long-term sustainable, I support a wealth tax for doing this. A lot of different ways you could do it. But the point is, let's make the commitment. We make the commitment for roads and bridges. I want to make a commitment for our children. Surely they are at least as important as our cars.
And one reason I wanted to talk to you a lot about what we're calling childcare in this conversation is because it's also early childhood education, these critical first years, especially in areas and in populations where they could really benefit from that before they go to school, proper school, starting in first grade or beyond. A lot of parents have written in asking about, is this a time, has the pandemic created a situation where there might be the political will and the policymaking will to rethink how we do some of this stuff and get it done, whether it's universal child care or early childhood education, or even innovation at other levels of education, whether we're talking about, yes, maybe incorporating some remote learning or something like that. Like, do you hear in your conversations on the Hill anything shifting?
So the answer is yes. I think this is the moment. I think the whole conversation around child care and education has reached a new intensity, partly from parents at home saying, oh my God, how much I need this, but also saying, wow, what those teachers have been doing is really hard. And, as they sit with a child on a laptop trying to make the pieces work, understanding the challenges, I think, that we face in the education system. And I'm actually going to take your question and integrate it in both directions.
Perfect.
We call it childcare when it's babies and toddlers. And then someplace in there at 3 years old, 4 years old, we start calling it pre-K. And then kindergarten, first grade, second grade, we call it school or education. It's education all the way across and it's childcare all the way across. And we should be thinking of it that way from the beginning. And, there are a lot of studies that show that we should be investing more in the education of our littlest ones, whether their parents work or not. This idea of getting 1-year-olds in places where there are lots of new, bright, shiny things and lots of toys and lots of other kids running around. Those are good for kids. Those are good for brain development. And here's the thing, even non-working parents, when they have the resources, even if they don't work outside the home, will often enroll their children in 3 mornings a week of play, 5 mornings a week of play, because they understand this is an important part of their development. Same is true as you move on through the system. Second graders, yes, we invest in their education, but we need to set it up so that there's time before the school classes begin, so there's time afterwards where there's plenty of enrichment, lots of good things going on, whether it's lots of physical education or free play or however you want to structure it, but so that parents can safely and confidently drop their children off in the morning and then head to work themselves or pick them up a little later than the school day ends in the afternoon or evening, and know that their children are getting a good experience. Again, I think this old way that you break it apart, that there's only school and only childcare, it just doesn't make any sense given what we've come to understand both about how children learn and about the needs of working parents and what it means to try to manage a family and a job. So I want to see a lot more integration of that. And I want to see a lot more innovation. And I think a lot of schools are ready to do that. I think a lot of teachers are ready to do that. A lot of parents are ready.
Unfortunately, we're getting close to the end of our time, so maybe time for one more. I could talk to you all day about this.
Oh,
and
I could talk to you about this all day.
I'm sure they could listen all day. This is consuming so much of everyone's mind space right now. There is this latest skinny bill that we talked about earlier. It sounds like, from your perspective, that wouldn't do nearly enough to kind of get everyone safely back at school and back at their childcare arrangements. What other relief, if anything, is on the horizon for parents in terms of education or childcare? In what time frame could they expect it? We are heading into a winter that is looking like, we are still going to be dealing with this pandemic. We're going to be confined to our homes more than ever before because of the weather. What can they expect? Is it something that would have to happen next year if we get a new Senate or a person in the White House? Kind of what can parents expect over the next few months in terms of whether any more help is on the way?
Well, let's start with what Joe Biden and Kamala Harris are saying. Joe Biden has made a central part of his presidential policies what he calls the caring economy, an investment in childcare, an investment in universal pre-K for 3-year-olds and 4-year-olds. And I should add, also an investment in care for seniors. This is another responsibility that so disproportionately falls on women. And what Joe wants to see is he wants to see us as a nation make those investments. He's got some really big plans around this, and the people around him are working. We're working in the House. I'm working with Senator Patty Murray, who's just been terrific. Childcare has been an issue she has pushed for years, trying to get more support into childcare, and really made it a central part of her mission as the senator from Washington State. So I see this as now clearly identified as a national priority for the Democrats. I'm going to talk politics now for a minute, and that is to say, if Joe Biden gets elected November 3rd, and we get the Republicans lose control of the Senate. Mitch McConnell is no longer in charge in the Senate, and the Democrats take control of the Senate, and we hold on to the House. If that happens, I think we can expect a lot of change. Now, that's, as you know, nobody officially comes in until late in January. But here's one little part that I want to mention even so. The folks in Washington, whether they're Democrats or Republicans, they listen to people around the country. Sometimes I don't think so. Sometimes I get really aggravated with some of my colleagues. But the truth is, they care about what voters care about. I think if voters say pretty strongly on November 3rd, we want to make it a priority to invest in our kids. We want to make it a priority to make the investments in this economy to get us out of this mess that we're in right now. I believe we will be in a better place, even starting right after the election, to be able to push folks in the direction of getting a more comprehensive relief package, that it would at least help state and local government, help our child care providers, help put out the money so that schools can reopen. I can't promise anything specific, but what I can promise is I'm fighting for it now. I'm trying to lay as much runway as I can for it right now. And I will be fighting for it after the election. And I definitely will be in this fight so that we get this done immediately after we get a new president and a new Senate in place.
Well, it sounds like everyone needs to be contacting their elected officials in Congress and also making sure to vote, because we at the 19th like to encourage everyone to vote. That's what we're named for. So thank you so much, Senator Warren. We really appreciate you taking the time to do this today. And it was a wonderful conversation, and I hope to see you again soon.
Oh, thank you so much, Amanda. And thank you so much for lifting up this issue. You know, for far too long, this has just been somebody else's problem, the mamas who are trying to deal with it one off. And finally, I think we are starting to say as a group, we've had it. This is no way to run a country, and we are going to demand change. I think that's what November 3rd is going to be all about.
Thank you so much.
See ya.
Bye.